Are you serious? Are you serious, guys? I mean, yesterday, you guys, I'm sure you've heard by now in Iran that, and behind me, that's the smoke rolling, the massive explosion. And that's really what it was, an insane explosion. It was unbelievably. It's horrible. And there's 40 people dead and 1,000 are injured. And the question is, who did it? First, let's put a shout out right now for www.mypillow.com/Paul. Use the promo code Paul. That's www.mypillow.com/Paul. Use the promo code Paul. You guys know Mike Lindell. What a great guy. He's been so faithful to the Lord. He has been a blessing to many different churches and ministries, including this one. And he has put together an incredible savings for you guys. If you go to his website, go to www.mypillow.com/Paul, use the promo code Paul, and order sheets, blankets, towels, pillow shams, bed toppers, slippers. I mean, pillows. I mean, and pillows and more pillows. And guys, a percentage of that comes to the Paul Begley Prophecy Ministries, a pretty big percentage, really. He's really being just extra nice to our ministry. So go now, and it might be time to freshen up the house for the spring cleaning, okay? And get some fresh stuff in, and you'll be glad you did that, okay? Thank you so much. God bless. All right, well, it's bad, okay? This is a horrible scene that has happened without question, in the Holy Land, and our hearts are broken for this because it's really bad. It's over in Iran, and here's what happened. Iran right now is very tight-lipped. They don't want to even say what caused this deadly port explosion that has killed 40 and has injured over 1,000 people. It is absolutely horrific. The Iranian authorities have not said what caused this massive explosion on the port of Bandar Abbas yesterday. It killed 40. 1,000 people are hurt. The hospitals are overrun with the injured amid unconfirmed reports of a possible presence of a chemical used to make the missile propellants. Now, the eyewitness accounts are saying that the video indicates chemicals in an area of the shipping containers that caught fire. This chemical is what made this such a much larger explosion. The death toll, as we said, is spiking sharply now at 40. 1,000 people are injured, and both those numbers are expected to even climb. It could be worse. The hospital's overrun with people, and it's one surveillance video distributed by the Fars News Agency shows a small fire beginning among containers with a number of workers moving away from the scene before all of a sudden a huge explosion ends the video feed. Emergency workers hoped that the blaze would be fully extinguished by Sunday afternoon, but it hasn't. Aircraft are flying over, dousing the site with seawater. It's not putting it out. 80% of the fire has been contained, but the fire is still burning, and the smell of toxic chemicals. CNN has previously reported that there's hundreds of tons of critical chemicals for fueling Iran's ballistic missile program had arrived at that port back in February. Another shipment was reported to have arrived in March. And state-run Islamic Republic news agency is quoting officials as saying the explosion was likely set off by containers of chemicals, but they didn't want to identify what those chemicals were. Now, the agency said late yesterday that the Customs Administration of Iran is blaming the stockpile of hazardous goods and chemical materials stored in the port area for the blast. But Iran's national oil company said the explosion at the port was not related to refineries or fuel tanks or oil pipelines. So the Iranian oil agencies are saying, guys, don't blame us. We didn't have any oil there. We didn't have any chemicals or any, compounds or anything. No, there was nothing that has to do with refineries, fuel tanks, gasoline, oil pipelines, oil related. We didn't do this. It's not our fault. Now, Iranian officials have denied that any military material was being held there at the port. But as I just said, we know for sure large shipments of chemicals that are used for the fueling of this of these weapons for missiles, chemical fuel for missiles, had arrived there in February, had also another large shipment that got there in March, and now here we are in April. Iranian officials, though, are still denying that there was anything to do with military material at the port. A spokesman for the National Security and Foreign Policy Committee of the Iranian Parliament, Ibrahim Razi, said today on X that according to the initial reports, the explosion had nothing to do with Iran's defense sector. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian arrived at the Bandar Abbas seaport today, this afternoon even, to investigate the situation and to oversee the relief efforts, according to the state media. The president also met with those injured in the blast. We have to find out why this happened, said President Pezeshkian. He said in a meeting with officials aired by Iranian state-run television. The region's governor, Mohammad Asari, declared 3 days of mourning for all of the misery. The blast comes at a time of high tensions in the Middle East and an ongoing talks between Iran and the United States over Iran's nuclear program. But no senior figure in Iran has suggested that the blast was an attack. Because if they do, they'll have to admit that it was chemicals used to fuel missiles, and they don't want to go there. But anyway, videos and images from the scene, you can see the black smoke behind me here, some of which has been geolocated by CNN, show orange-brown smoke rising from part of the port, while there's also containers full of black smoke, a color such would suggest, though, that these chemicals from the orange-brown smoke would be hazardous material that could be used for missile fueling. Also, give me a moment here and I'll make sure. It could be sodium or ammonia was also involved. The New York Times is reporting this today that a person with ties to Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard said that the explosion was sodium perchlorate, a major ingredient in solid fuels for missiles. The person spoke on condition of anonymity to discuss security. They were not allowed to talk about security matters. But CNN cannot confirm what was being stored in that area at the time of the explosion, and it is unclear why such chemicals would be there in the first place. Well, you know why. They would be used to be shipping into the Middle East. Shipping into the Holy Land area, shipping missiles through Syria into Hezbollah in southern Lebanon, or maybe even trying to get them into Hamas, but I doubt that now. There's really no way to get anything into Gaza. So they'd be trying to get this stuff probably to Hezbollah in southern Lebanon, or maybe to the Houthis over in Yemen, although that's getting blown apart by the United States. So this bears the hallmarks of an ammunition nitrate and ammonia explosion. Now, they also hesitate about determining what the cause of the explosion is. Of course, because they don't want people to know. Now, let me just say this. I have got some inside information that's not in these reports here, but I can tell you this ain't good. I can promise you I've got some information that you would probably want to know. And look, I'm just going to show you a picture here. I mean, this is massive. This is massive. Okay? This isn't textile. This isn't, just chemicals or textile work or some other things. There's way too big of an explosion. Way too big. Way too big. It has to be military grade. But let me just say this. Who did it? That's the question. Who did it? All right. Wow. Now, there's another report that says that this explosion at the Iranian port severely impacts the Iranian regime because the mass explosion at the Shahid Raji port in the southern Iranian city of Bandar Abbas, which took place yesterday, has significantly impacted Iran's regime and its ability to transport missile fuel. Okay? According to the Iranian program at the Institute of National Security and Studies, the port that blew up in the southern Iranian city was the most important port for the entire Iranian regime. The reason for the port's importance was not only because it was the largest port in Iran, but because the hub was used by the Islamic Revolutionary Guard to transfer weapons to terrorist organizations like Hezbollah and the Houthis. Now, let me just say this. I have some information that is not being reported in the news, and but I went ahead and posted it over at Patreon. So if you go to my Patreon channel, you'll see it's the latest video I did. I did it this morning. It's there. It's about a minute and a half. It's very important information, and I think it will help clear up a lot of this. And it's also going to let you know. It's going to give you a real clue to where this thing is going. So there's a lot going on. I'm going to be talking about all of this tonight, not only about this Iranian explosion, but we're going to be talking about where Trump is in negotiations with Iran. Where is Israel at in the really the devastation that they're putting on Hamas in Gaza? And where is Israel at in all of this with Iran? Where is what's going on with the Houthis in Yemen, and what's the United States doing there? We're going to be talking about all that. And, guys, we're going to be talking about some significant developments going on in Russia. There was a brutal attack by Russia on Ukraine today that's got President Trump completely upside down. I'm going to fill you in on all of that and a whole lot more, including a man who may be this guy. Look, I've seen a lot of cult leaders and a lot of false Christ and false prophets and people who may even be potentially the Antichrist. We got a guy we're going to bring to the table tonight this guy is dark, man, and we're going to share him with you. It's getting crazy. Jesus said this would happen in the last days. There'll be a lot of false Christ, and false prophets will rise, and they will deceive many. Going to show you this person and him speaking and the effects on the people listening. It's insane. But there's a whole lot more to talk about. So you don't want to, and we got a lot more than that to talk about. It's going to be an incredible show tonight, so don't miss it. Sunday Night Live, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. At 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Coming Apocalypse. Man, I tell you, the Holy Land, it's getting dangerous now. And so those dry bones are rattling. God's promise that Israel would be a nation is coming to pass, but the enemy is on the rise. Saturday was silent, and surely it was through. Since when has impossible ever stopped you? And Friday's disappointment is Sunday's empty tomb. Since when has impossible ever stopped you? This is the sound of a dry bones rattling. This is the praise, make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. Pentecostal fire, stirring something new. You're not gonna run out of miracles anytime soon. Your resurrection power, it runs in my veins too. I believe there's another miracle here in this room. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. This is the praise, make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. Think about it. Here we go. Are you serious? My God is able to save and deliver and heal and restore anything that He wants to. Just ask the man who was thrown on the bones of Elisha if there's anything that He can do. Just ask the stone that was rolled at the tomb in the garden what happens when God. Yes, I'm going to talk about Vancouver tonight also. I've already got that as well. It's part of my night. I feel Him moving it now. I feel Him doing it now. I feel Him doing it now. Do it now. Do it now. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. Terrible thing happened in Vancouver, Canada. This is the praise, make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. Terrible tragedy in Vancouver, Canada. That's going to be a part of our show tonight as well. Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Prophesy and say to them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up from your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. Then you shall know that I am the Lord, and I will put my spirit in you, and I will place you in your own land, and you shall live. I will place you in your own land. You shall live. Something biblical's going on with the signs of the second coming of Christ. The demons are loose. The demons are loose. The demons are loose. Oh, that's right. Yeah, there's so much tonight we're going to talk about. Of course, the explosion in Iran and the ramifications of that. Who did that? Well, you'll need to go to Patreon. If you're a member of my Patreon channel, please go there right after this video and go watch that video. If you're not a member, you can become a member. Very easy. Just go there, sign up quickly, become a member, make your pledge, give whatever you want to give. It's up to you. The average amount people give is around $5 a person, but you can give more, you can give less, but just get your exclusive material there, okay? Also, we're going to be talking about what happened in Vancouver, Canada tonight, what happened in Vancouver, Canada, when an insane man drove up onto into a festival where they celebrate the Filipino people's victory over Spain. Over the Spanish, actually. The Filipinos' victory over the Spanish. And so it's their festival for it. But anyway, a man just drove over a bunch of people. 9 are dead. I think as many as 30 are very, very severely injured. It's just, it's horrible. There's also this more stuff taking place. Top of my head, I can't even, there's... Pakistan and India, the massacre that went on there over in Kashmir, the discussion of nuclear threats between Pakistan and India now, between two nations against each other, threatening to use nukes on each other. That's not good. Russia made a major attack on the Ukrainians today. Trump is furious. It's just one thing after another. Of course, there's earthquakes that are just breaking loose everywhere. We'll be talking about that tonight, as well as a whole lot more. I can't even think about everything. And that guy who's rising right now, who I can see the spirit of the Antichrist all over him, but he thinks he can tell everybody. And I'm not saying he's the Antichrist, because he's not. He is a false teacher for sure, and a false Christ. But there's going to be a lot of them. They're popping up everywhere. But we're going to expose them when they do that, because Jesus said, that's 3 times Jesus said, watch out. False Christ and false prophets will rise, and they will deceive many. We're going to talk about that, as well as everything else that's going on. We're in the end times, guys. We're in the last days. Give your life to Jesus Christ. And oh, by the way, if you missed yesterday's teaching, you haven't missed a thing. On the 9 gifts of the Holy Spirit, you can go right now to our website at paulbegleyprophecy.com and get your ticket for the 9 gifts of the Holy Spirit. And that comes with a workbook. You can download the workbook. That's for free. If you get the ticket for the teaching, you get the workbook free. It's 20-page workbook on the 9 gifts of the Spirit. We taught for 3 hours on it yesterday. People were really, really blessed. I got a lot of emails and a lot of feedback from people says, wow, I really needed this. And I know you will enjoy it. You haven't missed it at all. It's been archived. It's there for you. Go get your ticket and watch it. It's incredible. It's a great teaching. It comes along with a 20-page workbook that is downloaded on PDF right there. So you need to get that, okay? God bless all of you. We love you. We'll see you tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on the coming apocalypse. God bless.